Om Madhuvatarayate Madhuksharanti Sindhavah Madhvirna Santvoshadhihi Madhunaktamutoshasi Madhumat Parthivagam Rajah Madhudyaurastu nah pita Madhumanno vanaspatir Madhumagam astu suryah Madhvirgavo bhavantu nah. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us now pray together. We offer our salutations to the all-loving being who endows all beings with consciousness. We meditate on the Lord, who is the origin of the universe. Lord, thou abidest in all, thou art all, thou assumest all forms, thou art the origin and goal of all. Thou art the self of all, thou art existence, knowledge and bliss. Salutations unto thee. May the world be peaceful. May the wicked become gentle. May all creatures think of mutual welfare. May their minds be occupied with what is spiritual and abiding. May our hearts be immersed in selfless love for the Lord. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. Opening song, a famous poem by Swami Vivekananda, tuned by one of our old devotees, Joe Dwyer.
Light
ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. May we all be protected together. May we be nourished together. May we all work together with vigor. May whatever we study make us illumined. May there be no hatred amongst us. Om, peace, peace, peace. Dear friends, past Thursday, we had the Thanksgiving and one of the most observed festival, the biggest travel season in United States, and I am sure you all enjoyed the occasion with your friends, family, and whomsoever you knew. So, on this day it is supposed that we thank to God or from whomever we get things, and we say thank you for whatever we have got. So, of course, there is a history for observing that day and why it is observed and why some people do not really like it because of some very bad history associated with it. I am not going into those details today. I have another idea that I had been thinking about for quite some time, and this expression in English, which I of course was not very familiar while in India, and that is this no thanks or no thank you. I started hearing it after I came to United States about 15 and a half years ago, that no thanks. It is when you get something, you certainly express your gratitude, say thanks. But sometimes, or let us say many times, things are offered to us, but we do not want to take them. So, we say no thanks by seeing that we are not going to be helped by accepting it, and yet we say thanks for the offer made. Sometimes it is done a bit sarcastically also. I mean, we really do not mean it, but it is an expression like when I get calls from credit card companies that yes, we will give you this offer is there, it is, and you can have so many $1,000 on credit, and also we will give you cash back, and as in the beginning, as our way of giving you a present, we will give you $100 off. So I many times even do not listen all that, and then say no thanks. It is no thanks. It is really not meant that, well, thank you, please call me again. No, better never call me again. But as the expression is no thanks. uh, many times things are offered genuinely, that yes, this is on offer for you. I would like you to take it. But one says, looking at the effects of accepting it, that no thanks. It is genuinely offered, we have no doubt about that. Not like the credit card company, they genuinely offer in a different way, but somebody really, in a very friendly manner, offers us something. And we accept that it has been offered genuinely. We accept that there is friendship and love behind that, and yet we do not want to accept that thing. In fact, we resolutely refuse to accept that thing, seeing that it will not have a good effect on me. And I have seen and I have tried to learn from that, from many people, especially when our some students from Brown or other nearby, when they come, and when I offer them some food items, many times they say, no thanks, I am good. So it is no thanks. Now they do not doubt that it has been genuinely offered. There is no idea that I am trying to cheat them, but it is, they see that accepting that is not required for them. It is in fact going to be a problem for them, and so without they genuinely want to say no, but while doing that they also want to express that they are grateful for the offer. So they say, no thanks, thanks for what you have given, and then it is not taken, but the thanks are for the offer. And many times I think on this, that this is a point to learn. This is a very good idea to learn to say no. Just a couple of days ago, I think yes, on Thanksgiving Day itself, in the evening we were having a supper, and there were quite a few people there in the basement, and then there was a very hot chili sauce, really very hot. And then when it was offered, it was on offer, but many knew the effect of having it, what it is going to do to their insides. Some liked it, they were taking it and saying thanks. Some others knew that it is not going to be liked by their, even outside or inside, their palate as well as their intestines. None of them is going to like that, and so they said no thanks. Now why was it said? Not that they were full, they were taking other items in the food items there, but for this chili sauce they were saying no thanks. It is genuinely offered, but it is not going to be helpful to me. And looking at the effects, the idea is you look at the effects and then say no. And this is an important thing in life that I think we need to ponder about and learn from it, and that is to say no. When things come to us, many times they come in a very tempting way, and nature gives those things to us with a big promise, and we need to examine. We need to find out that what effect it will bring to me. This is a great feature in human beings. I am not sure whether other animals share this with human beings, and that is to ponder over the effects of taking something, and depending on that, we should decide whether to accept it or to reject it. There is that when an offer comes, one may get so infatuated with that offer that one just falls for it, does not think of what effects it will lead to in our lives, and thus, after falling for it, later on realizes that I shouldn't have done this. Because initially, on the face of it, it sounds very nice, very good. It appears that it has a big promise behind it. But we do not wait and ponder that what it may be bringing in its that towed cart, So it is, the face of the vehicle looks very nice, but has a lot of things that it is going to dump in our life, and that is going to create problems for us. So if we wait and ponder, then, and on the basis of that pondering, on the basis of that thought, if we make a decision of accepting or not accepting, that surely is more beneficial in our life, rather than either instinctively of accepting the offer or rejecting the offer. Sometimes it is rejected because on the face it seems that it is going to be some difficulties and doesn't look so nice. But maybe if we ponder, then in effect it may bring many important, very good, nice things in our lives. So we reject it summarily after a cursory glance, or we accept it similarly by a cursory glance. So it is important to ponder, and ponder on the effects, not on the superficial appearance. So when we do that, then we are more assured that I have pondered over the effects. Maybe our pondering is not fully correct, but yet there is better chance for us of not committing the mistakes just by going by the superficial appearance. It is the politicians, when they contest elections, they make a lot of promises very loudly, but those who have experienced that, they, instead of falling for those things, howsoever beautifully they are made, if you see the TV ads, how nicely they are presented, about the promises, it is you do not just go by those words that this candidate is going to do that, that candidate is going to do that. Look at what promises have been given. A person ponders that is it really going to happen? Is it possible? We have to see the history behind that, and then a thinking person sees them as mere election promises, does not go by what appears just on the surface. Rejection or acceptance, both are done on the basis of thought rather than on the basis of the spontaneous emotions. So it is this idea is what I think very important to ponder. While we should be thankful to nature for bringing so many things to us, should we accept all those things? It is not to be accepted always. Many times we accept to do certain things saying that it is natural. And for many, although on pondering it appears to be not true, whatever the word natural sounds to many as synonymous with right or good. Friends, if we look into this, that many things that nature gives us, they are not as good. They really are harmful. Nature gives them. They are natural. But does it mean that it is right? It is not always right. It is given by nature. But we have been given the choice too, whether to accept it or not to accept it. So, we should exercise the choice in that matter. Examine what will be the result of accepting it. And looking at that inferred result, the possibility we should accept or reject. So then we will not have to have remorse for our choice, that okay, I thought about it, and then after thinking, then I have chosen this. And usually we can see that it will lead to good effect, because we have patiently thought over what will be the result. One of the that great features of Sri Ramakrishna's life, as described by his biographer Swami Saradananda, it's a wonderful book, translated again recently by Swami Chaitananda in a modern English language, Sri Ramakrishna and his divine play. In that book, this has been mentioned, that if we look at Sri Ramakrishna's behavior, response to anything that is happening, one will be able to see that his mind would go immediately, just cutting across the superficial appearance. It would just go into what will be the result of doing this. And on the basis of that, he would accept or reject that thing that is on offer. So that is how when he was put to the that school for becoming that religious priest. He was from a priest family, and then he was told, well, if we have to earn livelihood, then we have to go to learn all these priestly rites, these things have to be done. And Sri Ramakrishna, after attending a little bit, saw what happens with that. He had already seen the examples of this learning, and he saw that what do you get by this learning? He was not therefore inclined to pursue that learning. So his elder brother asked him about it. In fact, mildly reprimanded him that why is he not putting the mind in learning all these things. Sri Ramakrishna saw that by spending time in learning this, what do you get? You get the big pride of learning. You go after more and more money, and thus get entangled into these things. And he, therefore, pondering over this, he decided firmly that no, I do not want to pursue that kind of knowledge. I want to pursue that knowledge. I want to get that knowledge by which the life is illumined, by which one is liberated or attains to God. He told his brother that I do not want the Bengali words literally translated would mean that I am not looking after the knowledge by which one learns to get a bundle of rice and banana. That was an offering given to the priest when they, in that part, in those times, when they would be invited to perform some religious rite at home, then they are given this bundle that in which a little rice and a banana is tied together, maybe a little money too. So he said, I do not want to get knowledge of getting those bundles of rice and banana. I want I want to learn that by which one realizes God. So he saw the result of what happens. He also saw the result of going for high learning. The learning that just increases our pride, our ego, that yes, I am a very highly educated man, I have two graduate degrees, and or I am a doctorate or whatever, and that increases pride. He saw that as the result of that kind of learning. You feel that I am superior to other people. So he said, no, I wouldn't go for that. It is therefore looking And God is the repository of happiness, the God who, according to the tradition of Vedanta or in general Hinduism, God is our true self. And that is the repository of all happiness and peace. And so we see that this is what we want. And thus the steps in life should be taken according to what is going to take me towards that goal. Actually, we do not have, none of us has any different goal in life. We feel that my goal is something different. My goal is to become the best athlete in the world. But if one ponders, that is what I mean, if one ponders and look at the lives of all the athletes, you will become one like them, the best amongst them. And will you have then achieved everything in life? No, you will still have the question, what next? Okay, I have now become the big athlete. Now what am I to do with that? You want to be a very successful manufacturer, industrialist. Yes, suppose you work to that end. You think that that is your goal, to become the most well-known industrialist, most successful, and whatever it may mean, but suppose you end up achieving that stupendous, great success. Is the life fully satisfied now? There is always what next? How can I not let other competitors come up? It is a continuous, this process of struggle. So therefore, one sees that that is not the goal. The goal was to be happy, and we thought that by becoming an industrialist I will be happy. Some say it was more than a year ago, and I was referring to that this morning as well in a discussion, that one lady, she said, well, all that I want is that job. She was applying for some jobs, and she said that all that I want is that job. If I get that, the life will be so happy. And then after some the attempts, she did get that job. And then she said, well, what next now? That cannot be, the goal in life. You can get the job, but that is not the goal as such. The goal is God alone. And therefore, one should see that what will help us to go towards God, that should be accepted. Other things will certainly be on offer. So many objects will come in life for us to be accepted, and they titillate the senses, they excite us, they tempt us, and at that time one should look at the after effects of accepting that, and thus should say, no. It is an important thing to learn to say no, to put our foot down there and say no. When we can do that, our spiritual life becomes smooth. Even our worldly life becomes much better. Many problems in our life, if we look at it, that how things happened, we realize that where I should have said a firm, resolute no, I uttered a feeble yes. And thus the problems began. So this is something that we need to learn, that no, thanks. Thanks for the offer, but no. It is a nice story in Kathopanishad, a great Upanishad that one should think about in this matter, that how many things were offered to a young boy. They were very tempting things. In fact, everything that sounds attractive, and human beings easily fall for even a fraction of that, all that was there right on the platter to accept for that boy. The only condition was, do not seek this self-knowledge. The boy had been given boons by 3 boons. The name of that boy, Nachiketa, I don't want to go into this story right now, just this is enough for now, that he was given 3 boons, and after the 2 boons, which were great in themselves, this boy now asks for the 3rd boon, as about the knowledge of the self. I want to know what survives when people die. So that he was essentially asking for self-knowledge, and the giver was the god of death. He was taken aback. In a way, he felt happy that there is somebody, a rare soul, who is asking this question. But he wanted to test whether the person is really interested in it, is really asking for it. So he said, well, why this? Instead ask all these other things. I will give you the kingdom of not only earth, of all the higher realms of existence, where you will have all the immense pleasures. Just you speak and it is ready at your doorstep. You will be the richest man on this earth, and you will never become old. You will always have this strength and the youth to enjoy. Would you like to accept that? And just give up this very difficult to obtain self-knowledge. It is very confusing, very difficult to get. And why are you thinking of that? Why don't you instead accept these things that I am offering to you? Now it is very easy for ordinary people to think. We probably wouldn't wait for so many temptations. Even a little bit is enough. That is that story I had told earlier in one such lecture, that a minister as was giving sermon asked that, so then we will be near God, we will go to heaven and we will be there with God. Come on, how many of you want to go to heaven? And he expected that everybody in the congregation will raise hand, hey, yes, we want to go to heaven. But to his surprise, not a single person raised the hand that I want to go to heaven. And he asked, well, You don't want to go to heaven, none of you. Then some said, eventually we would like to go, but not immediately. We have other things to do. Right now I am thinking after this sermon, which restaurant I will go to have my lunch. So that is the concern now. Heaven and all, we will wait for that. So we accept all other things and reject that which we really want. We do not think about it, that this is on offer, suppose. In that case of that little boy, the boy knew that just saying yes, all these things will be given to him for sure. He knew that that person is capable of doing it. And thus, not that it is just an empty promise. If I tell, say, Anne, if you do this, and I will give you $1 million, she will smile at me because she knows that I don't have $1 million to give to her. So it is, she will not take the offer very seriously at all. But it is this god of death has all those things that he was offering. In fact, he showed to Nachiketa, here are they, do you want them? That it is as if he opened the showroom and just see, these are all for yours to take right away. Do you want to take? And then this young boy pondered over the results. What will it entail? He said, all those enjoyments that you are offering, they only, they only weaken our senses, that's all. They blunt our lives. Our sensitivities get blurred and blunted. We become weak, and that is what you call enjoyment. I do not want any of that. Thanks. If you want to give me what I had asked for, please give me. Otherwise, thanks, but keep all those things that you were offering with you. I don't need them, thank you. So it is that kind of statement, you see, that is saying no, resolutely saying no, is a great achievement. The nature is replete with all these things. Sri Ramakrishna asks Narendranath, his most favorite and most eminent disciple, who later became Swami Vivekananda. He was asked one day, Narendra, he said, I have those 8 very special occult powers that will make you, do whatever you want in this world. You will have the power to know what's going on in other people's mind. You can you have the capacity to reduce your size to an atom or make yourself bigger than a big mountain. You have the capacity to become invisible. All these powers I have got, but I don't have much use of it. If you want, I can give those to you. Now, Narendra knew that Sri Ramakrishna has them, and if I say yes, he will be able to give them to me. He had experienced that. So, not like my offering to give you $1 million, not like that. So, He knew that it is real. But he decided, as his want always was, to ponder what will be the result of it, what will ultimately it bring it to me. And he asked Sri Ramakrishna, are there going to be any help in realizing God? Are they going to be any help in my march to experience God? And Sri Ramakrishna said, no. But he left a little more tempting offer there. Not for realizing God, but afterwards, if you want to do preaching, then they could be of use for you to do good to the people. And this was kind of tempting, that I may not use them at the moment, but I will keep them now, and then later on when I have to preach or whatever, then those will come handy. So let me take them now. But Narendra saw that they will be a big impediment. It